Suddenly, toughing it out till graduation seemed to Stephen a pretty good idea. All this happened today. It'll happen tomorrow. It's happening here, there, right down the street. People are living united. We're not just wearing the shirt, we're living it. We're realizing that the way we live our lives can impact the way others live theirs, their education, their income, even their health. So do something, any little something, as long as it's something. Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Hello and welcome to today's lottery drawing. Good luck. And here's today's winning numbers. First one up, it's not yours. Second one, not yours. And another number that's not yours. Okay, this is one number that's yours. It's a 5, but you don't get any money for that. And the final number is not yours.
Yep, so chances are you're not going to hit the lottery anytime soon. Don't get us wrong, the lottery can be fun every now and then. Just please don't rely on it for your future savings. How about this? Brew your own coffee at home instead of buying that latte every day. Brown bag it to work instead of ordering in. Ride your bike instead of buying all that gas. These changes alone can save you thousands a year. Thousands. Small changes today, big bucks tomorrow. Feed that piggy bank. Go to feedthepig.org for more free ideas on how to save. Feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
I'll pick you up after school. Okay, I got it.
It's easy to take your world for granted. Most days go by without a whole lot of surprises. But what if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? What if everything familiar becomes anything but? Would you be prepared? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed. Today. Learn how at www.ready.gov. Ready.gov. This message brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Ad Council.
Sassy! Sassy!
This week's episode, Trouble on Rock Hill.
Ain't nothing like running up and down Rock Hill.
Hey, let's move this rock. Whoa!
Sassy! Johnny's stuck under that rock. Yeah, girl. Go tell Mr. Gunderson to bring his truck. You'll tell him, but only after you dispel a stereotype associated with shelter pets? People think shelter pets come with lots of initial veterinary costs?
It's dusty under here.
But in reality, most shelter pets have been vaccinated, neutered, and microchipped in case they get lost?
My pants ripped.
Sassy, Johnny needs help. What Johnny really needs is more discipline and better parental supervision? You use big words, Sassy.
Still under the rock.
Sassy is brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org. Remember, adopt.
So coming to the stage is a really funny guy. Y'all know him. Put your hands together. Give it up for George Wilborn.
Folks, why won't we go to the doctor? My uncle called, speech all slurred, complaining his arms numb. He calls everybody under the sun. Aunt Peyton, his old army buddy George. He even called my daughter Tiara, because, you know, she's got a year of nursing. Everyone thinks he needs to go to the doctor, including me. So he said, well, will you take me? I'm like, I'm on the road. He goes, I'll wait. Stroke's no joke. If you or someone you love have symptoms of stroke, don't call family. Don't dial a friend. Don't wait. It may be too late. Dial 911. Time loss is brain loss. Seriously, dial 911.
Learn all the symptoms of a stroke at strokesnojoke.org. That's strokesnojoke.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Once upon a time, old Scrooge sat down before the fire. humbug.
His glance happened to rest upon a bell. With great astonishment, this bell began to swing, as did every bell in the house. Without a pause, Molly's ghost came on through the heavy door and passed into the room before his eyes.
Who are you? What do you want with me?
I am here to warn you. You will be halted by 3 spirits. I'd rather not.
Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls 1.
Expect the second the next night at the same hour, and the third upon the next night.
Couldn't I take them all at once and have it over with?
To read A Christmas Carol and other books online, go to www.read.gov. Explore new worlds. Read. Yeah! Brought to you by the Library of Congress and the Ad Council.
Ahoy, ye mateys! Now I know you probably think a pirate like me with a peg leg and an eye patch is in search of me buried treasure, but 'tis not so, me mateys. My brave crew and I have pledged to plunder no more until we clean up all the garbage that comes out here from land. Why, just today, I found an aluminum can that said soda pop from the mountaintop. Somebody probably threw it on the ground and it washed into a drain pipe and into a river and into the ocean. Now I've got the best crew in the 7 seas. Hooray! But we can't do it all ourselves. Not on our own. Lend us a hand by always recycling and disposing of your trash properly. To learn more about keeping oceans clean, visit keepoceansclean.org. Tarnation. I mean, keepoceansclean.org.
What? That's keepoceansclean.org.
Yeah, what he said. Brought to you by the Keep Oceans Clean Alliance and the Ad Council.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to report a bear sighting.
Location?
In the woods, just outside of town.
Oh, not surprising. You've got your home. Bears have theirs.
Yeah, but see, this wasn't just any bear. This bear was wearing jeans and a hat, as in Smokey Bear.
Jeans and a hat. That's definitely Smokey. What exactly did he have to say?
Well, we were about to head home, after having a bonfire.
Oh, I can guess where this is going.
Right. See, Smokey told me the fire wasn't actually out. He said if it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave.
That's true. Did you know that 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans? That means 9 out of 10 wildfires can be prevented.
Wow, no kidding?
I'm a forest ranger. We never kid.
Sorry.
that was a joke.
Oh.
Get your Smokey on. If you see someone in danger of starting a wildfire, step in and make a difference, because 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans. Brought to you by Smokey Bear, the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council. Learn more at smokeybear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
It's a tax trouble help show, chat about it. It's a tax trouble help show, chat about it. With our audits, collections, let's chat about it. Missing tax returns and tax breaks, let's chat about it. It's a tax trouble help show, chat about it.
The Tax Trouble Help Show, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. on your computer at chataboutit.com. This is Chat About It, the future of Internet radio. Don't just listen to Internet radio shows on business, sports, or politics. Chat About It.
Today on Mr. Media, I'll talk to the big man, the funny man, one half of 30 Rock's dynamic duo, Kevin .com Brown. Stick around. So much media, so little time. Who keeps track of it all? That would be me. This is Bob Andelman, and this is Mr. Media Interview. MrMedia.com, MRMedia.com. Stop by and check it out. There are more than 500 archived celebrity interviews for your listening pleasure. And the show is brought today by the Party Authority of the U.S. It's a court event. For any and all occasions, call the Party Authority nationwide at 1-800-DIAL-DJs. That's 1-800-342-5357, where one call does it all. So where was I before the commercial? Oh yeah, Mr. Media is recorded live from the new media capital of the world, St. Petersburg, Florida. Well, when Tracy Jordan's Bodyguards made their first entrance on NBC's soon-to-be-a-hit 30 Rock, you would have been excused for expecting them to be a one-time sight gag. Who were these two men disguised as skyscrapers, anyway? But even as Tracy Jordan became more defined as the show developed in that first season, the roles of his entourage, Grizz and Dotcom, were refined and grew distinguished. The Twin Towers found their niche as brilliant supporting characters, one or the other often defining a scene with a shrug, an eye roll, or a gentle quip. They, unlike Tracy, played by Tracy Morgan, of course, were in on the joke with the rest of us. I had the good fortune to interview Grizz Chapman a few weeks ago, and he must have said good things to his friend and partner Kevin Brown, who plays Dotcom, because he's going to join us here in a moment. But who are Grizz and Dotcom? The legend and the mystery continues to grow, as I discovered in this video log featuring 30 Minutes creator Tina Fey.
How did you find Grizz and Dotcom? Just through regular auditions? Interestingly enough, Grizz and Dotcom were real friends of Tracy Morgan's. And when we did the pilot, we said, you have some friends that would be your guys playing your entourage. And Grizz and Dotcom were real friends of Tracy's, and their real-life nicknames are Grizz and Dotcom. I wish that we could take credit for coming up with the nickname Dotcom for Kevin, because it's a really funny name, but he came with it. I don't know why he's called Dotcom, but it's a really good nickname. And Grizz's nickname is self-explanatory. It's because he is grizzled like an old prospector. No, he's huge like a bear.
Well, I'll do what I can to get to the bottom of this today, Tina. Trust me. Kevin Dotcom Brown, welcome to Mr. Media.
Bobby, what's going on?
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing quite well, thank you.
We're all very excited to have you on the show today, and let's get right to it. Tina Fey and the rest of the world want to know, where does a guy get a nickname like Dotcom?
Well, Dotcom is just the abbreviated version of a stage name I used to go by. So I used to call myself Big Kev because I'm a stand-up comic. That was my nickname, Big Kev.
Okay.
And they would put my name on all kinds of flyers along with my picture. But Kevin's such a common name. Every promoter, every other comedian whose name was Kevin started calling themselves Big Kev on flyers. So I said to myself, I need to find a way to make a distinction between me and all these other guys named Kevin. So I said, I'm going to call myself BigKev.com. So that name is a mouthful, but basically about 11 years ago, that's the name I was going by. And some of my friends would call me Big Kev. Some of my friends would just call me .com. So that's where the name BigKev.com came from.
Well, I knew you'd had the name for a long time, and I was thinking, well, maybe Kevin Brown is the guy who created the internet after Al Gore, because, he's been .com for so long.
Yeah, me and Al, we did that together, yeah.
Well, then the other thing I want to know is, where can I get a cool nickname like yours? I mean, do I have to become a stand-up comic, or, can you assign me a nickname? Would that work?
Well, I would recommend you become a stand-up comic, because in the black comedy circuit, all of us have the coolest nicknames. That's okay, a prerequisite.
Do I have to be a black stand-up comic too? Because that's going to be the harder part of this.
Well, you know what? We have some white guys with some really cool nicknames. There's a white comedian named A.G. White. There's another one named F.O.B. So basically, you got to have a nice name that sort of stands out and rolls off the tongue when you get that powerful introduction,
All right. Well, could I be FOD, friend of .com?
Hey, that's a good one.
All right. With a little help from my friends. Now, Kevin, in her video, Tina said that you and Grizz were already friends with Tracy Morgan, when 30 Rock came around. Now, I know you go back a long way. You actually go back to the beginning of Tracy's career, though, don't you?
Yes, actually, my career sort of did reversal, because when I met Tracy Morgan, I used to own this comedy club in Harlem called the Uptown Comedy Club. And I used to manage young comedians and produce shows and things like that. So that's how I met Tracy Morgan. He was he was just thinking about starting comedy. People was telling them that how funny he was, but he didn't know how to break into the game. So people directed him uptown to my club and said, you need to go check out this club. And then when he came to my club, he would perform, and he apparently was killing the audience. So people would tell me, hey, there's this guy named Tracy Morgan, you gotta see him. And I went and checked him out, and he was just hilarious. And, you know, I was his first manager in the business, and I actually got him his first TV appearance. So I know him from the beginning of his career.
Well, then you can answer a question that a lot of people wonder about. Where does Tracy Morgan, the person, and Tracy Morgan, the comedian, and then Tracy Jordan, where does one start and one stop, and then the next one starts and stops, or are they all the same? Because, you know, like I've heard Tracy on Howard Stern in the last couple of years, and he sounds more like Tracy Jordan at times than I would imagine he's like as Tracy Morgan.
Well, Tracy Morgan begins and ends in a bottle of liquor.
Oh God!
That's where it started, in a liquor bottle. So, and that was many years ago. I think he was a teenager when he had to have been a teenager when he started drinking, but it started a long time ago. Now he's a skilled professional, and this persona that he has, he's honed it from many years of hanging out in strip clubs, investing a lot of time supporting the alcohol industry and other herbal foundations. And but now he's a skilled professional, so he has that persona down to a science.
So when you are with him and there's no cameras rolling, you know the difference between who you're with and that persona.
Yeah, well, now, you know, the difference between Tracy then and Tracy now is he's a star now. He's a commodity now.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the days, he would present that persona because he thought it would be funny. But now people are paying to see that persona.
Mm-hmm.
So once people write big fat checks and say, we want you to be funny for this theater filled with people, or for this movie, or for this TV show, they don't care whether you're in a good mood or whether you're in a bad mood. You just have to bring it.
Right.
So now that he's a star, I enjoy watching this young star that I've known Tracy for a lot of years, but I haven't known Tracy the star for a lot of years.
Got
so
it.
I love watching him bring it, no matter what mood he's in, no matter what else is going on in his personal life. He just has to bring the funny, and that's the nature of the business.
And where does Grizz Chapman fit into this relationship?
Well, like I said, Tracy is very charitable. So he used to spend a lot of time supporting the endeavors of strippers and things like that. So Grizz was actually working security at this very popular strip club up in Westchester County. And when Tracy would go there, this is years ago, years before 30 Rock, Tracy would go there and, just to support the struggles and the endeavors of the strippers' foundations and such, their charitable cause.
Of course. God bless him.
Yes, absolutely. And Grizz, being a fan, they developed a friendship, and Grizz would sort of, look out for Tracy, because as Tracy was becoming, going to the club, he'd get a little drunk and whatever, and, get ready to do things, or people were getting ready to put him in a situation that was, awkward. Grizz would sort of protect him in those situations. So they developed a friendship being at the strip club.
All right, so now we know how the three of you came to have this relationship. How on earth does that transfer to a network sitcom? Now I understand Tracy and Tina work together on Saturday Night Live. I mean, that's the well-known part of this. But okay, Tracy, come be on my sitcom, and then suddenly Grizz and Dotcom are there with him too. How did that happen?
Well, you know what? I believe Tracy had access to the executive conversations. Grizz and I, we didn't have access to those conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But early on, I believe that the energy and the excitement that was generated when they brought me, Grizz, and Tracy together, I believe that energy was exactly what they were looking for Tracy's character. So, although when we were first brought on to the show, we weren't supposed to be, necessarily named characters and weren't necessarily supposed to be around the full ride of the series, that energy, that what would we call it? That chemistry that was created when you put me, Grizz. Do you hear that horn? You hear that horn in the background?
Folks, the TV, it's live. Yeah, I heard it.
Well, I live in the Bronx, New York. And the Bronx is everything you imagine it to be. So that horn is outside in the street, and it sounds like it's coming from the room that I'm sitting in. So please excuse me and excuse my friends out here in the Bronx.
Not a problem. You know what? What I'd like to do is take a minute and play one of the signs of the growing popularity of Grizz Chapman and Kevin Dotcom Brown has been the development of their own web series, Live in XL with Grizz and Dotcom, Live in Extra Large. And I want to play, it's about a minute, I think. I want to play, this is episode 6, Bad Impressions. Check this out, folks. All right. Okay, well, apparently the video has frozen, so we don't have the video. So let's come back to this. You have also parlayed this role on 30 Rock into some other things. You were in the last 2 Sarah Jessica Parker films. Did you hear about the Morgans and Sex and the City 2? And I'm wondering, should Matthew Broderick be sweating about you?
Well, you know what? I have Matthew has nothing to worry about when it comes to me and Sarah. I have the same, what's the word? High intimidation factor from Sarah Jessica Parker that I do from Tina Fey. Now, there are a couple of those chicks in that Sex and the City crew that I don't know if they're in relationships, but let's just say the other three can get it. Sarah, she's okay. She's good. I respect her, and I don't even see her like that. I'm sure she doesn't see me like that. But those other 3 in Sex and the City, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Get it.
Well, you know what? And I forgot. I wanted to ask you about Tina. There's this feeling I think that most people get watching the show that you and Grizz and Tina have this kind of a special relationship. It's that knowing what's going on, kind of that nod and a wink. What is it that's special to you about Tina?
You know what I think it is? The amazing thing about Tina is she was a writer on Saturday Night Live. And as everyone knows, Saturday Night Live has created some of the biggest comedic stars on the planet. It's like a superstar factory. So she was there and she was writing and working with not only Tracy Morgan, but, Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, just keep naming the big stars that came from SNL. Tina Fey has seen it all and worked with them all. So one thing she's great at is she doesn't squelch the chemistry in the room. And it's almost like catching a lightning in a bottle, because when you put the right people in the room together and there's that chemical reaction, it's hard to recreate it, and you can't teach that. It's just having the right atmosphere, having the right energy, and just letting it fly and see where it goes. So Tina is great with that, and I think that comes from her background at Saturday Night Live. But I love the freedom that she gives myself and Grizz, and I love the opportunity. And I have a lot of respect for her and what she's, the platform that she's given us.
Well, Kevin, before we run out of time, I know that this spring you got back up on stage. You opened for Tracy Morgan at Caroline's in the city, and you're planning to make a return as a headline this summer. Is that right?
Yeah, it was great. It was great opening for Tracy, but it's one of those things where I've been doing stand-up comedy for almost 13 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the thing is, when people watch 30 Rock, they have no idea that guy, that actor that plays the character Dotcom is such a hilarious seasoned stand-up comic. So my goal for the end of this year, and especially going into 2011, is to let the world know, let the 30 Rock fans know that I am a skilled stand-up comedian, and you can bring me to your town and say, hey, Kev, can you do an hour? Hey, Dotcom, we want to see an hour of Dotcom's comedy. And I can bring it, and I can bring it hard, and that's my goal right now. So that's the agenda I'm on right now. When I open for Tracy, I get 12 minutes, 15 minutes, and I'm grateful for it. But I have another 45 minutes that the world needs to hear, and I'm trying to bring it.
All right. Well, before we go, let me help you with that as much as I can. Folks, you can follow Kevin.com Brown on Twitter at .com30rock. That's .com30rock, all solid. And you can see where he'll be appearing over the summer, other things that he's doing. He's been great about promoting his appearance on this show. And, of course, you can see 30 Rock, starring Tina Fey and Kevin.com Brown. No one else is important, just Tina and Kevin. Every Thursday night. Well, okay, let's throw in Grizz. Every Thursday night at 9:30 p.m., right after The Office. And you can order complete season DVDs of the show at MrMedia.com. Kevin, it was great to have you on the show. We're just about out of time. Please come back.
Bobby, I appreciate it.
All right, take care, my friend.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. And folks, for more original interviews with your favorite actors, directors, and screenwriters, including a growing number of stars of 30 Rock, surf over to our main website, MrMedia.com. And thank you so much for listening tonight, being a part of our show. Come back soon, and thanks again. Bye, everybody.
You're listening to Chat About It, the future of Internet radio. ChatAboutIt.com is the place to listen to new and exciting talk shows. Listen live. ChatAboutIt.com.
This weekend, we're joining a